Hi, welcome. I'm going to jump right in and show you the products we're using today. Dragonfly Dreams, Flirty Flamingo paper, Flirty Flamingo ink from Stampin' Up, and some other supplies like the Simply Scored scoring tool. Okay, we're going to get started making a really cute box, and I'm going to just demonstrate how to score. You could use any scoring tool for this. On the short side here, you're going to need to score at 2.5, 4 5/8, and 7 1/8 inches. You need to start with a piece of cardstock that's 11.5 by 7 7/8. Then you're going to turn, as you saw, the paper, and you're going to want that little skinny horizontal strip at the top, and you're only going to score down to the second score line. So you're going to want to score at 2.5 inches, 5 inches, 7.5 inches, and 10 inches. And again, only scoring to that second score line. You can see there I made a little mistake and scored too soon. That's okay because that piece is going to be cut away, so I'm not too worried about it. We're then going to flip the paper all the way around to face the opposite side, and we're going to score at 1/4 inch, 2 3/4 inch, 5 1/4, 7 3/4, and 10 1/4. Now, when you get this all scored, you're not going to want to fold on the score lines like you normally would do with a box or a project like this. Instead, we're going to create some triangles in the middle of this scored piece here, and then we're also going to cut away some of the pieces, and additionally we are going to do some stamping. So what I'm doing here is I'm lining up the end of one score line to the end of another score line so that it creates a triangle. So I'm going from the top of the bottom of the top score line to the bottom of the other score line. It sounds so confusing. It's super simple. You're just going to kind of go kitty corner essentially, and it makes these triangles. So you can see here I'm just going back and forth with my Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm using my stylus in the grooves so that I can see exactly where I'm scoring. And this really is a super simple process. It's a little bit time consuming. So I do want to share that this box was originally created by Sam Donald with Poodles in the United Kingdom. She is super talented, Poodles Papercraft, and she is the one that created this box originally, and so we just decided to recreate it because it was so phenomenal. You can fit a ton of stuff in this box because of the way it's designed. So it's really wide in the center and kind of more narrow at the top and the bottom. Okay, so now you're going to have this piece that's all scored. And again, you don't want to fold on any of the score lines until you do your cutting away, because it will make it so much easier to do your folding if you've cut away the pieces you don't need. So here I have a diagram that's all scored, and I am showing you the pieces that you will cut away. So you're going to cut away this little weird piece at this end, and the tops of this and that one little box and there. So through the magic of TV, I will show you where all these are cut. First, we need to do our stamping, because you want to make sure you do your stamping before you do any folds, because it really will make everything easier. Now, if you wanted to stamp the entire piece of paper before you did any scoring, that would be perfectly fine. In my case, I wanted these little gradient bubbles from the Dragonfly Dreams stamp set to look like they were going up the side of the box. So I had to wait until I did my scoring so that I could stamp right along that line where those triangles were. But if you were just wanting decorative pieces all over the box, then you could stamp all over the paper before you ever even scored. Okay, so you can see here now this has been cut away, everything's been folded on the score lines. I've trimmed in on all the tabs so that you can see that they will fold at the top and the bottom. And I'm taking tear and tape adhesive and putting it just on this one little half triangle at the end. And that's literally the only place you have to put adhesive to form the box, except for the bottom, which I love, because a lot of boxes and stuff, you have to put adhesive lots in different places, and it kind of is a disaster. So this is great because you just have to do the one little piece of adhesive here at the end. You just fold it all the way around. You're going to line up your little tab to tuck inside of that other flap at the other end, or the last piece, I should say, at the other end that will finish your box. And that's your first step. And then on the bottom, you're going to put adhesive. Well, it really kind of depends on how you want the box to close. Really, you could probably cut off 2 pieces at the bottom if you wanted to close it, but this is how the top closes. And you may notice on the top, on the lid there, I've kind of trimmed away a little bit of the excess on the tabs, and that's just so that it'll close a little bit easier. So that's something that you can do, cut it a little bit of a diagonal, and that's how the bottom of the box will close. You can see me there putting that together. So I'm going to use tear and tape adhesive, and I did end up finding an easier way to do this. Just so you know, you could actually open all these pieces up, put adhesive over 2 of the flaps, and then shut them and close the front. Now I'm trying to make sure that my front of my box lines up with the bottom front of my box, meaning that my flap that is in the front of the box will close over these other pieces, and then that gives it a really good soft line in the front without looking like there's a whole bunch of paper stacked up in the bottom of this box, if that makes sense. So I am just adding the tear and tape. I always recommend using tear and tape adhesive or a fast fuse adhesive, some sort of really strong adhesive to hold boxes closed, because they tend to want to pull apart. And so definitely you're going to want to use a stronger adhesive than just Tombow to keep this box closed and make sure that your stuff doesn't fall out the bottom when you give it to somebody. So my plan is to fill this box with Hershey's Kisses. I'm really excited about that, and then give them to friends or family who might need a little pick-me-up. So you can see there the box is nice and big, and it shuts super cute and easy, and there it is. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have an amazing day, and tune in again to Split Coast. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.